Let's begin with breaking updates coming in. The Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, while speaking at the CPAC 2025 conference in Washington, D.C., has spoken up amid the storm over USAID funding controversy. Now, several global leaders putting the spotlight on the ecosystem and the deep state, which wants to destabilize democratically elected governments. The U.S. President Donald Trump, for a fourth time, has spoken about the same in the latest. Now, Giorgia Meloni has also made a reference to Prime Minister Modi while taking on the left ecosystem. Listen in. Before we play out that reaction, let's tell you what has been happening over the last few days. The U.S. President Donald Trump has spoken about funds that were diverted towards India. In fact, DOJ made that revelation that $21 million were sent to India for voter turnout. This has raised several questions on what it means, what the money was meant for, who the money went to. Amid these questions that are coming in the country, there is a statement that has come in from Giorgia Meloni. Now, she was speaking at the CPAC 2025 and she said that the left is nervous, and with Trump's victory, their irritation has turned into hysteria, not only because conservatives are winning, but also because conservatives are collaborating globally. And while she was speaking of the conservatives collaborating globally, she spoke about Prime Minister Modi as well. She spoke about Trump, Meloni, Millet, and then made a mention of Prime Minister Modi as well. Senior consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary joins us on the broadcast with the details. Srinjoy, statement coming in from Italy's Giorgia Meloni. This comes at a time when there have been a lot of discussions over USAID and what the ecosystem wanted to change in the country.
Well, first of all, internationally, there is a turn towards the right. There's no dispute about that. Donald Trump, Meloni, Prime Minister Modi, others also, all the way down to Argentina, you have right-wing leaders. And this period of time actually contradicts those moments when you had Tony Blair and Bill Clinton and people like that, that seemed like a left-wing statesman ruling the roost. Now it's exactly the opposite. And this is the point that Meloni is making, that at this point, this is actually a decline of the left, a decline of left liberalism, a decline of the fact that this is the end of the wokeness. These are issues that are coming up now. So Meloni is part of it, Donald Trump, of course, part of it, and Meloni has spoken about Narendra Modi, that the presence of Narendra Modi is also an example of that.
Okay, all right. So speaking about Prime Minister Modi saying the conservatives are now collaborating globally, very significant statement. And amid the discussions on where the US aid has gone, the President of the United States has also made several statements speaking about how that had been pushed into India. $21 million for voter turnout to be increased in the country. So amid these discussions, a statement coming in from the Italian Prime Minister. Let's listen in.
It's at risk. The only thing that you can do is to put it in the wiser hands. That is why conservatives keep on growing and are becoming more and more influential in European politics. And that is why the left is nervous. And with Trump's victory, their irritation has turned into hysteria. Not only because conservatives are winning, but because conservatives are now collaborating globally. When Bill Clinton and Tony Blair created the global leftist liberal network in the 90s, they were called statesmen. Today, when Trump, Meloni, Millet, or maybe Modi talk, they are called a threat to democracy. This is the left's double standard. But we're used to it. We are used to it. And the good news is people no longer believe in their lies. Despite all the mud they throw at us, citizens keep voting for us. Because simply, people are not naive as the left considers them. They vote for us because we defend freedom, we love our nations, we want secure borders, we preserve businesses and citizens from the green leftist insanity, we defend family and life, we fight against wokeism, we protect our sacred right to our faith and our free speech, and we stand for common sense. So ultimately, our struggle is hard, but the choice is simple. Will we surrender to decline, or will we fight to reverse it? Will we let our civilization fade, or will we stand up and defend?
Process in Moldova, $29 million goes to strengthen the political landscape and help them out so that they can vote for a radical left communist in Bangladesh. You had to see who they supported. You wouldn't believe, yeah, you would believe it. Nobody in this room would be in that group. $20 million for fiscal federalism and $19 million for biodiversity in Nepal. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. $18 million for helping India with its elections. Why the hell? Why don't we just go to all paper ballots? Let them help us with their elections, right? Voter ID. Wouldn't that be nice? We're giving money to India for elections. They don't need money. They take advantage of us pretty good. One of the highest tariff nations in the world. We try and sell something, they have a 200% tariff, and then we're giving them a lot of money to help them with their election.
So, Srinjoy, the statement that was made by President Trump led to a lot of discussions. And now we have in the latest the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who has also said that the left is panicking over conservatives of the world coming together.
Yes, the left is, it's one of those cycles. The left is losing a lot of votes, losing a lot of support in Europe, in Asia, in America. There is absolutely no doubt about that. And it's not just Meloni in Europe. The Hungarians have supported the right wing. The Germans could well be doing that in the near future. Several other countries are moving towards the right. The French right wing is very, very powerful now. The German extreme right-wing parties are gaining in strength. There is no dispute about that the right-wing parties are gaining in strength. And if that is so, well, it's the decision of the people to go in for right-wing parties. This may change this point. Most of the world see the election of right-wing leaders. So you have Italy, you have America, you have Argentina, you have Hungary, you have increase in support for extreme right-wing parties in France and Germany. It's a fact of life. So that is where the situation is. So this is something Prime Minister Meloni has spoken about, and she has said that at this point, this left liberalism is under retreat. Wokeism is under retreat. Well, she's right. It is so now. At least for the next 10, 15 years, it's seen as something that is going to happen. Now, if there is a return to left values 15 years later, we'll have to see about that. But at this point, there is a strong support for right-wing politics.
Absolutely. And interestingly, she goes on to accuse the liberals of hypocrisy, Srinjoy. She says that global conservatives are being unfairly called a threat to democracy. So we've seen such statements coming in the country as well. And similarly, the same Meloni speaking about it, saying this is hypocrisy by the liberal ecosystem.
Yeah, she has said so that once when Clinton and Blair were senior leaders in the world. They were seen as great statesmen, and now people like her are seen as right-wing fanatics and so on. Yes, she said that, and it's also important to note that she's probably right. Now, if the people of America, of Italy, of Germany, of France, of India, of Argentina, of Hungary want these right-wing leaders, there's nothing that can be done. These are democracies, and here there appears to be a swing towards right-wing leaders. So why taint them? Why call them right-wing fanatics or whatever they are being called? There's actually no need for that. That's the point that she is making.
Absolutely. The Italian Prime Minister saying the left is nervous with Trump's victory, and she said that the world conservatives are collaborating, and she made a mention of Prime Minister Modi as well. Let's listen in.
It's at risk. The only thing that you can do is to put it in the wiser hands. That is why conservatives keep on growing and are becoming more and more influential in European politics. And that is why the left is nervous. And with Trump's victory, their irritation has turned into hysteria. Not only because conservatives are winning, but because conservatives are now collaborating globally. When Bill Clinton and Tony Blair created the global leftist liberal network in the 90s, they were called statesmen. Today, when Trump, Meloni, Milei, or maybe Modi talk, they are called a threat to democracy. This is the left's double standard. But we're used to it. We are used to it. And the good news is people no longer believe in their lies. Despite all the mud they throw at us, citizens keep voting for us. Because simply, people are not naive as the left considers them. They vote for us because we defend freedom, we love our nations, we want secure borders, we preserve businesses and citizens from the green leftist insanity, we defend family and life, we fight against wokeism, we protect our sacred right to our faith and our free speech. And we stand for common sense. So ultimately, our struggle is hard, but the choice is simple. Will we surrender to decline, or will we fight to reverse it? Will we let our civilization fade, or will we stand up and defend?
Process in Moldova, $29 million goes to strengthen the political landscape and help them out so that they can vote for a radical left communist in Bangladesh. You had to see who they supported. You wouldn't believe, yeah, you would believe it. Nobody in this room would be in that group. $20 million for fiscal federalism and $19 million for biodiversity in Nepal. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. $18 million for helping India with its elections. Why the hell? Why don't we just go to all paper ballots? Let them help us with their elections, right? Voter ID. Wouldn't that be nice? We're giving money to India for elections. They don't need money. They take advantage of us pretty good. One of the highest tariff nations in the world. We try and sell something, they have a 200% tariff, and then we're giving them a lot of money to help them with their election.
Now, hours after US President Donald Trump urged his billionaire advisor to get more aggressive in his work to reduce the size of the federal government, Elon Musk announced that federal workers will have to document everything that they did last week or face resignation. In a post on X, Musk said that employees will be receiving an email shortly requesting to understand that they got done last week. A lack of response, he added, will be taken as a resignation. This is his post on social media. He has taken to social media X to give out that message, and he said President Trump had earlier in the day also posted about the same. So here's what Musk is going on to say. He says, consistent with what President Donald Trump has said, this decision has been taken. Srinjoy Chaudhary continues to stay live with us. Srinjoy, So this is what the US president had spoken about. Trump speaking about the same. Now, Elon Musk, after being asked to get more aggressive, giving out a message quite clearly to the federal employees that turn up to work, tell us what you've done in the last week, or you could face firing.
Well, this is small government. This is what Donald Trump sees as small government, and this is what Elon Musk sees as small government. He wants a government that is more responsive, that is cheaper, and he wants a smaller government. That is Trump and Elon Musk's ideological position. That is how they see government. They see less interference in government, and they see government smaller in numbers, and they see a government that is more efficient. So less money goes into it, and on the other hand, it is more responsive and efficient. That is Elon Musk's version of government, and also his bosses. The point is, the worry is that by cutting government in the way it has, hopefully it will not hurt the functioning of government. If it does not hurt the functioning of government, then Musk and Trump have actually emerged victorious, or will emerge victorious. We'll have to see what happens, but this is another step towards cutting government, reducing expenditure. And if you reduce government expenditure, then the people will have to pay less for it, so the taxes will be lowered. That's how Trump and Musk see the next 4 years.
Yes, so Srinjoy, Elon Musk saying that all the federal employees will receive an email. They have to explain what is the work that they got done in the previous week, and any failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. Are there going to be any legal challenges for the same?
Well, there could well be. We don't know about that. There could well be. Someone could go to court, and then there could be a stay on this by the courts. We don't know. We'll have to see. But at this point, the Trump government has about 4 years to run. So 47 months or so. So regardless of how long these challenges will be, they will be for a few months, maybe for a year. At the end of the day, the people of America have almost overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump, and they knew what to expect. Donald Trump has spoken about small government, of cutting of government expenses, cutting of government staff for years and years, and he's actually going to do it, and he is doing it. So you have to accept that the people of America want this, and if the people of America want this, after a point, the judges also know that if this is how a democratically elected president is working, there's not much you can do about it.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us with those details, Srinjoy. So a lot could happen. Elon Musk saying that all the federal employees are going to get this email that says they should reveal what they've done in the last week. And if there's no response, then that will be considered their resignation. Interesting times. A lot could happen, and we're keeping a track of that. For now, slipping into a quick break here. We'll be right back with lots more. Stay with us.